Hello, we're back. Oh, it's been such a long break, but I'm really excited to be back. How is everybody doing? Now, I posted a cutting guide earlier. There was just one little measurement, but I did fix it. I did post the cutting guide here in the comments. It was instead of 3/4, I put 3/5. So it's okay. You can just adjust that by that 1/16 of an inch. Today, we're going to be working on a box. Some of it was inspired by Pinterest. Some of it was inspired by a square box I made. Well, hello, everybody. And so what I did is I just kind of added to it. Oh, I'm glad to be back too. And so it's not an original design. It's just one I built on and one that I just love during the holidays. You can make this with your Halloween magical paper or masquerade or with the Christmas magical. What I've done is I've put a top lid and a bottom lid. It doesn't have to have that bottom lid. As you'll see, it'll stay together. It doesn't even need the ribbon. The ribbon just kind of added to it. And then the lid on my bottom, this one, for some reason turned out a little big, so I just put some pop dots in there and it spaced it out nicely. But I did adjust the size a little bit, so we'll remake it. Anyway, your bottom does come off. Now, one thing that's nice, of course, you won't have these dots in there. I did those for spacers. The bottom can come out, and it can be a little candy tray that goes with it. So just a little added extra there. I loved the two lids. Like I said, you don't even have to add the ribbon. So the ribbon's not attached. I did not attach it because it does stay nice and closed even without it. And just from my dies, this is such a beautiful paper. Now, this is something you can make and kind of keep flat and go back and assemble later if you're short on space. But our lid will come off and then it's going to unroll. But of course, you'll have it sitting up, and then you'll have the three little boxes in there. Mine's laying down, of course. Let me put our lids over here. And they're really nice size boxes, over 2 inches. And I have a little buddy who hasn't seen me in a while because we've been doing some traveling. And so he just came down with a washcloth in his mouth. Sorry, I had to take it from him. So you can add a lot of fun things. Maybe you have like homemade charms that you make. I want you to see the size. So gift cards definitely will fit inside of this box. Maybe put it in some plastic and wrap it up really nice. But it's big enough for gift cards. Even if they have to sit, you'll be able to put gift cards in there and gifts. But see, they're really big boxes. And that's one reason I extended the size, because I wanted the bigger size. And then it just rolls up into a nice little package. Like I said, your lid will hold this nicely. I'm making two, one for the top, one for the bottom, because again, that's just a nice little candy dish. And like I said, mine turned out a little too big last night. So I had to put some spacers in there. Or you can tie it or just leave it as is. So to get started, I did prepare one of the lids already, because we have some hand cutting that goes along with this. And I want to show you what else I've used. So I've used a 3-inch circle punch. And you know, I haven't been at my studio for a while. We've been doing scrapbook retreats. And so everything's falling apart. The wheel fell off my chair. We have a new one coming. Anyway, whoops. I used the 3-inch circle punch for my boxes. You'll see, to cover our folds. And for this one, we're actually going to hand cut. Actually really easy, and I'll show you how to do it. So that's one of my lids, and I did 2 of the little boxes because they take a little while with the piecing that goes with it. So let's start with a box. And I'll make the first box, and the size is 4 by 11 3/4. Once again, I'm going to post those in the comments. And you'll want 3. I did pre-score, but we're going to score them again together. So you can write down the score marks if you like. I'll go slow. You're going to score with 11 3/4 at the top, and then the 4. You have 3 of those, but we'll do 1 on camera. So we're going to score at 1 7/8, 3 3/4, 5 5/8, 7 1/2, 9 3/8, and 11 1/4. So for those of you writing these down on your 4 by 11 3/4 pages cardstock, I'm going to just quickly repeat the score marks. 1 7/8, 3 3/4, 5 5/8, 7 1/2, 9 3/8, and 11 1/4. Hi, Cheryl. And then I want you to turn it so that the 4 inches is now across the top of your scoreboard, and you're just going to score at 2. So you'll score right in half. As we get going now, basically, it's the holiday. We've got to get working on our holiday gifts. And things like this also make a really lovely display at your front door. And you can wrap these in plastic, and you'll have these ready when a neighbor comes with a gift. And then if you're not home, one thing I do is I always put gifts out for my husband and say, okay, if somebody comes with a gift, please make sure you just give them one of these. So I kind of do them. This one especially, I'll be doing a bunch of these. I do them generic, fill them full of nice things inside. And when a neighbor comes, I'm at home, then my husband can just grab it and hand it out. Or for Thanksgiving, maybe you want a housewarming gift or anything like that. These are going to be terrific. Okay, so we're going to burnish up all these score lines. Oh, who wants to clean house when you can scrap or craft, Monica? I'm using the Artisan cardstock, and this is available at countrycraftcreations.com. And of course, your magical Christmas that I'm using, all of your scrapbook stores should have it in stock by now. So check your local scrapbook stores or check countrycraftcreations.com. Hi, Marie. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Yes, you can also access this video later because it does stay recorded. Okay, so I've got my 1/2 inch here to my left-hand side, and we want to leave this top piece. Yep, this will be available and on YouTube. I'm just going to miter that top. I'm going to cut right in to that top piece. High crops for fun, and we're going to take this off. This bottom, we don't need it. Now, you'll see pretty soon, the reason I only did 1 box on camera is when we go to put these together, they are they're kind of touchy. So we're going to just cut straight up our score lines. Oh, thank you, Mary. Well, I missed being here. I missed actually crafting myself, but we sure had fun at the scrapbook retreats. So we went to St. Louis, South Carolina. We finished up in Las Vegas, and we're home. We have 1 more to go this year, right here in Utah. And that's a fun one too. Okay, I have all my score marks cut up. I'm going to bend this backwards. If you bend it backwards, if you're using Artisan cardstock, it's just going to kind of help because this is an octagon. We're not putting together a square, and it can be kind of touchy. Now, I did put in the cutting guide the mats for the box. And I do mat the inside and the outside. So I've chosen actually the red cut aparts. If you haven't seen this collection, it's amazing. And it's going to also be ideal for all of your Christmas cards, all your Christmas gifts. You have a red set of cut apart. I mean a green. So the green, and I did cut them apart for this. And my red cut aparts, which I cut them. I wanted the colors that were on the back. So the back side of your red cut aparts, as you can see, they were cut apart, are the little animals. So everything, wow, is it fuzzy right now? Let me check on my end. So are we still fuzzy? Oh, in Utah? Well, some of it will be done right here at Country Craft Creations at our warehouse, but we'll be at Farmington Station. Okay, it's back to normal now. Great. So for the outside, and for all 3 boxes, you're going to cut 36 of these. And they're 1 3/4 wide by 1 7/8 long. Sometimes these patterns will throw my camera off. Now, if you're using a directional paper, it's 1 3/4 wide, 1 7/8 long. That would be cute too, but my cut aparts aren't all like that. So I'm going to we're going to attach these to the front and the back. Actually, that's really cool. Too bad I didn't. Yeah, I lost my other tip. So we're using a makeshift tip on my glue bottle. Cut aparts, I'm telling you, are just adorable. The Santas on this whole collection of magical, they're just mad. They named it correctly. Authentique always. They're my favorite Christmas papers. Classic. They're just perfect for the season. And the colors are always classic. And I do like to use wet adhesive with this, especially art glitter glue if you're looking for this to last and not come apart. And if you are working ahead and already cut all your matting pieces, wait for the inside, because there's one square we don't mat until after we connect our box together. I don't get any glue anywhere, and make sure it's all flat. Turning this over, so you'll notice we're going to be connecting our box piece together. So this one, if you need to mark it as a reminder, we don't mat that one till our box is together. So it's the same thing, 1 3/4 by 2 7/8. After we're finished putting our tower together, I also have a first look at 2 new collections from Authentique and one cut apart so that you get a sneak peek of what's coming out here very, very soon. I think you're going to love it. Hi, Pat. Well, Utah's not humid, but it's pretty hot, Lynette. I was just thinking today, it's hot, but then winter will come and we'll be all complaining. So I'm not going to complain about the hot weather. I'll miss you too, Pat. I hope everything's going great. Remember, we do not mat that one till last. Wet adhesive, just make sure everything's down. Okay. Once you have all the matting down, it doesn't matter where you fold this, just fold it. Well, let's burnish it first. I always burnish after I mat, so we have crisp fold lines, score lines. No, not humid in Utah. Okay, now we're ready. I'm just going to fold this in half first. Yeah, I feel like I suffocate also in humidity. Hi, Cheryl. Let's make sure that's down really well. Go inside. This is where this little guy is touchy. See, this could be an oblong box, but we want an octagon box. I don't really know any tricks to this except for we just have to play with it a little bit. So we want two flaps to come down. They need to be right on top of each other. Here's the tricky part. Each flap has to be on top of each other to keep our octagon shape, and it wants to move all the time. See, they can't be, they need to be right on together. So that's what takes a few minutes. I'm using art glitter glue. So I'm not going to tell you this part's going to be easy. I'm going to tell you it's going to be a little bit frustrating. So we're going to add some adhesive just under that flap. Not a lot. Just enough so I can get my next flaps kind of lined up. Just gently laying things down. Now, once everybody's going to have their own way to do it. These guys really aren't going to stick together yet. And you're just going to have to move the box. Okay, once we kind of get that bottom one, I'm going to stick him down. An elastic can help. I've tried that. But what I'm going to do now is just turn it over. Yeah, you can use an elastic, any means that's going to help you get your octagon shape. This is my little handmade. It was made by one of my our customers. I love it. I love it. Yeah, another set of hands will help. So now basically it's down. I've got some glue on here, not enough to really set it in stone yet. And that was the whole idea. Now I can come back, add adhesive under my layers. Got a little zealous there with the glue. Anything that you have that you can kind of get that down there. I just want to put it on the edge. I'm not too worried about that being down because I've already punched those. Remember our 3-inch circle? I punched some of those out already. No, I didn't. I need to punch those out. So I've got one for the bottom, one for the inside. Sorry, that thing's noisy. So for the inside, I'm going to have the polka dots up. Now this doesn't have to be a circle. You could use a square. We're going to actually trace these for the lid. So you could do that for your inside box. And now when we glue that down, it'll be enough glue to get underneath there and hold that flat. Now all this is, you get a 1-inch dowel. Let me tell you, you cut it. And then this is just one of those furniture pads, so you can change it if needed. And one of our customers, Pat, her name's Pat, made it for me. And I love it. Okay, now I'm going to put this on the bottom. And because you really can't push, I'm just going to turn it over. Okay, now see the lid, I actually traced this, so we'll be doing that for the lid. And then we have this one spot left. And even though I'm attaching this to the inside box, I wanted to still mat it for strength. Yeah, a doily would look beautiful on the bottom. And that's just, so I have 3 boxes, and that's what you're going to do. You'll just repeat and make all 3 of your boxes. And now we're going to create well, let's get the bottom off here. One of the things came off my spacers there. This part we're going to create really simple. So that'll stay together. So we want 2 pieces of cardstock. Love this red. And your first one is going to be, let me get some room here, 10 3/8 by 8 1/4. Now we need an extension piece to make this longer, and it's 6 inches by 8 1/4. One thing too, you want to just check that these are both the same length, because they're going to extend out, so you don't want one longer than the other. And we'll start with the 10 3/8 of an inch piece first. Some stuff here. And we're going to score super simple. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So that's just going to give us that little 3/8 of an inch that we're going to connect. Yes, Monica, I made a coffee cup like this also. Then our next piece, that's our extension, is the 2 by 6. I mean 6 by, oh wait a minute, sorry, 10 3/8. No, it's 10 3/8, but oh no, it's 10 1/4. I'm sorry, Jen, you are right. Actually, no, did I write it wrong? It's 10 3/8. 8 1/4 by 10 3/8. But if you did 10 3/4, you'll just cut it down. Ooh, let me see. Did I give you guys the wrong measurements there? No, it's supposed to be 10 3/4. Sorry, Jen. I am so retarded. It's, I mean, 10 3/8. 10 3/8. I will make that adjustment. But if you have 10 3/4, that's okay. Just cut it down. You just don't want a lot of bulk there. I think I did start out with 10 3/4 and changed it. And then again on the 6-inch, 2 and 4. Sorry about that confusion. Okay, we're going to just burnish the score lines. The little 10 3/8. So again, if you did cut yours 10 3/4, just cut that little bit off. I found it. Yeah, it should be 10 3/8. It's too much bulk. So that I'll adjust that after. So I'm going to turn this. So this is going to be the what's facing me, the outside, because I want this little piece that's going to hook on the inside, or hook this together to be on the inside. And you're just going to add adhesive to this edge. And right up to the score line, because this is now like a new extension here. This is one reason I use the wet glue. Oops, because then it becomes permanent. So let's also fold on that score line again, so we don't see it. Okay, the matting. And the matting, you'll cut 24, no, 16, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So for the inside, I chose the poinsettias. And for the outside of this one, I'm going to do the houses. And this one was the children. Isn't this just the most darling paper? So cute. These are 1 7/8 of an inch wide by 8 inches long. So it did take a full sheet of 12 by 12 plus, you know, what, 4 inches of a second sheet. So you'll cut 12 of these for the outside and 12 for the inside. And I'll start with the inside. And I did make them, as you can see, a little bit shorter on the top and the bottom with the lid going on. Sometimes the paper at the top just gets bent on mine, so I went ahead and cut them just a hair short. You could go 8 1/8 if you wanted, but this way it won't get knocked or bent backwards from the lid on the edge. Okay. And again, you're going to cut 16 for the inside and so 16, 8 for the outside, 8 for the inside. Just making sure they're all even. Always important with glue. See how it lays flat? Make sure you get that spread around. Yeah, this is exactly how someone was asking about the coffee cup that we did do the coffee pot. Coffee cup, very similar, but smaller. Hi, Bobby. How are you doing? Trying to keep everything lined up so it looks neat. Takes a little bit. This is what I call piecework, but it's enjoyable piecework. Oh, well, hello from Tokyo. Awesome. Oh, you're really relaxing, Bobby. The poinsettia is just gorgeous. That's what I use for the poinsettia on the top of this one. I love the black. It pops at you. See, we're going to cover that seam so it doesn't even show. No one will even know. Hello, see? No one will even know where that seam is. Grab my last two and then we'll do the top front. Again, you'll want to watch your directional papers, especially when cutting them. Always make sure you squish your glue around. Yeah, this collection, Bobby, I'm telling you, the cut parts though, they're the bomb. They are so gorgeous with the sandus. Okay, let's do the outside. And you'll want to mat inside and outside. It's what gives it super strength. Same size, 1 7/8 by 8. So I'm going to put the houses on the outside. The plaid is gorgeous too. And if you want to do that, you need a sheet and a quarter, about a sheet and a quarter of your 12 by 12. So for this matting. Oh, wow. See, TC, you've been super busy. I've seen everything you're making. just love this, the scenes. It's hard to see, but there's children sliding down the hill, around. This is a Christmas tree outside, and it looks like they're putting lights on it. Very, very, very tiny figures in there. It's just amazing. Just amazing. The tube, I'm sorry, Robin, the tube of glue. Oops, see, that's what happens with that lid sometimes when you don't get those corners down. Yeah, it's always nice when you can keep to schedule. It's when you get off schedule, I know you get flustered, especially during the holidays. And that's why you want to start as early as possible. And gifts like this do make it easy. Yes, Deborah, hi, I'm back, and it feels so good to be back crafting. And I'll be back every week again. Oh, this is the tube that's going to be our box. Reminds me of those. Remember the rollouts we used to make with the crayons? And you could roll it out and then we'd sew them. Some of you may know what I mean. We'd roll it out and there'd be crayons and pencils. We used to make them for our kids. Yes, you can use up all your scraps with these. Now you can also make these and then keep the boxes till you're ready to put them together and lay these flat in a box until you're ready to put them together. And that will help save some room if you are making a lot of gifts and you want to have them ready before the holidays. Or you might even want to use Masquerade, the Halloween paper, or Hooray. Hooray is just wonderful birthday paper. Fill it full of little gifts inside. Yes, the crayon rolls. Now you can even match. So for some reason these guys are starting to match up. I didn't plan it that way. It just happened. If you cut them in order, then you can definitely match up your patterns. Which these are matching up. And one more. One more and we will make our lid. But if you're doing a top and a bottom, you'll make two lids. Again, you don't have to have two lids with this. The second lid is just like a little added extra. Nope, 110 cardstock would not be too heavy for this. In fact, you want it to be heavy. And now, see, I've really messed up. I burnished flat, so I need to re-establish our score lines. So let's just burnish this because we want it to roll. Hi, Kat. Excuse me. Oh, my voice. Still from all the talking last week. Last 2 weeks. And laughing. See, and then this is going to just kind of roll into itself. But we can put it aside for a moment. Ah, there goes the camera. Sorry. We need to make another one of these lids. And then we will be drawing. So you'll want some scraps because you want the lid to look really nice. And for your lid, you're going to need 2 pieces. Because we have a little extension piece. And excuse me, I've been teaching for 2 weeks live and we've been laughing, so my voice is starting to go. Anyway, for your lid, if you're doing 2 of them, you want 2 4.5 by 11 inches. And I'm checking my measurements here. They are what I put down, 4.5 by 11. Then we need an extension piece. This is kind of like your add-on piece. And it's going to be 2 5/8. Oh, honey water. Yes. 2 5/8 by 4.5. Deborah, yes, I knew that. I need to go heat up the water for that. I'm going to do some scoring. So if you want to write down the scoring, and the reason I put my scoring for our piece that we had we're going to put together is so that you keep it at 2 1/8, because now the lid pieces are 2 1/8 inches, because it's got to be bigger for our box, right? So let's score with the 11 across the top at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. Yeah, add whiskey. I agree. 8 1/2. And then you want to score the last one at 10 5/8. Whoops, we only need a little piece. Then we're going to turn it to the 4 1/2 at the top and score at 2 inches. Yes, this is saved. So once again, 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8, 8 1/2, 10 5/8. Turn to the 4 1/2 at the top and score at 2. Now for your 2 5/8 by 4 1/2, 2 5/8 at the top, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. And 2 inches. So 1/2 inch, 2 inches. That's going to be the add-on to make our lid big enough. So we're going to fold up these score lines. And burnish them well. And fold in half. Okay, now this piece, oh, before I burnish, because I want to make sure, there we go. So let me show you. 2 inch at the top, and you have a wider piece at the bottom. We're going to be matching those together. But first of all, we're going to cut this bottom long piece off because we don't need it. We're going to cut up at any cut anyway, and we don't want that bulk there. So the 2 inch at the top, I'm going to miter that. I need to turn mine over so it's the correct direction. And then I'm going to cut the bottom piece off. And that's going to attach there. Now, once again, we're not going to need the bottom off of this one, but we're going to burnish it up first. You can see our paper, unless you have a 12 inch, or I mean a longer piece of paper, we have to do this. So we're going to now trim this one up. Just cut it right off. Miter and miter. I don't really want to there pull it. There, if you do, just clean that edge up. adhesive, matching the score lines as you put them on that flap. And burnish that well, squish your glue out. That glue tip I'm using just puts too much glue out at once. Okay. Small edge at the top. We're going to cut the bottom just like we did for the box. So our squares are 2 1/8 by 2. Let me show you. I cut the matting from the houses. So I'm going to have the houses on the inside. So again, you want to check your directional. And these are 2 inches by 1 7/8. So 2 inches by 1 7/8. And you need 6 for the outside, 6 for the inside. So I want to make sure before I put these down that I have my directionals correct when I was cutting them. Okay, those are going inside. Plaids on the outside. So 2 1/8 wide, 1 7/8 on the height. The only thing you can tell it's August in Utah because you're going to see the fly. I have 3 of them buzzing around me. I don't know where they came from. Stop for a minute. Hello. So if you're just joining us, have no fear. This will stay recorded and you can watch it from YouTube, the Authentique paper page on Facebook, and you can then go back at any time. And don't forget to check out the Authentique Facebook paper page because there's great tutorials and just videos from the design team in the video file. If you're on Facebook, just go to Authentique Paper Company, then click on videos, and you'll also find fabulous walkthroughs from the design team and past videos for the last, there's tons in there of great projects that you can create using. Doesn't have to be the Authentique paper shown in the video. It can be the new Authentique. It's going to look fabulous. Look at that plaid. Isn't it just classic? Okay, the back side. Now remember, you have this one piece that has to attach to this little tab. So we want to go ahead and mat everything again with our 2 inch by 1 7/8 of an inch pieces. Make sure everything is down good. And one more. So If you do 2 lids, you'll want to cut 30, for your lid, you want to cut 24 squares. And it is easier if you just kind of get it all cut if you're going to do it kind of like in it. There goes that fly. Sorry, assembly line. He's a big one. Again, making sure we have everything flat. And then we're going to attach our tab to this page, but let's burnish first. That's going to also make sure everything is, all the matting is flat too. Okay, I'm going to fold that in half. Just bring it right up to the edge. On the inside. And now we have our little octagon to play with again. So please don't hesitate to share if you have a secret way to do this. Otherwise, you just have to kind of play until we get the shape, because these need to come over the top. So we have to go, completely across. You can't have it off-centered like that, or your box will be off-centered. So like I mentioned, this takes some playing. And if you want to try the rubber bands, let us know if that works. I did try a rubber band, but it kept squishing it in. So once again, there we go. I'm going to kind of get my starter here. I'm going to work it backwards, flip her over. There we go. So it looks like that's going to work. So I'm going to work it from the inside. And you kind of just have to do what works. Not being super neat with the glue. It is a hectagon. We got it. Where's my little tool here? Now, I'm going to put my matting piece on the inside. Yes, this one's 6-sided. Oh, hexagon. Sorry. Did I say octagon? Now, because this is the lid, I don't want that showing, right? Now, also, I want to grab, this is the finished box. We're not ready to put it on the other one yet. And I want to just check. Okay, the fit's good. And I took whatever color paper because I wanted it to be super strong. So I'm going to use this matting, which is just our red cardstock. And then also, because of the shape, this is handmade. It's not going to be perfect. So I put an X, kind of like a pattern. So I knew that this piece was facing downward when I traced this, and that it's going to go back in that way. So now I'm just going to trace around the box. Yeah, it's not straight, and I'm not too worried about it because I will cut straight. But you'll notice your box probably goes wonky like mine. Wonky like mine. Oh yeah, we could do that coffee cup again, or the video is still available, Monica. It's in the video files. So I'm going to cut on the inside of that hand-drawn line because I want it to be a little bit smaller. And you may think you can, excuse me, you can use this as a pattern, but you really can't. Because, like I said, this is handmade. This is not, there's nothing professional about it. You know, like a cutting machine. So you have to cut one for each lid you make. So now I'll make it smaller. It was tight. Just going to trim my edges a little bit. Let's see how that fits. But we want the general fit. And now you can see why I have the X's so that they match, because it's not symmetrical by any means. There we go. So now I have a nice fit, but I do want to cover it with the pattern paper. So this part's easy, I promise. And I used the stripes. I don't think I have enough, big enough. Oh, I do. No, I don't. So this one is going to have the poinsettias on the inside. And the thing to remember is this is going to go back in this way. Well, no, it can't. It cannot go upside down. It won't fit. Okay. So this is going to be facing upwards. So whichever color you want, you have to make sure you glue this down accordingly. So if I glue this down here, that's going to be the inside. Oh, which is what that is. So that's what I want. And then to remind myself, I'll just put the X back here because I'm going to glue that down onto the box. So see, this part will be easy. That's a good idea, Christy. Unfortunately, with this one, I never get the same size each time. Now for this, if you want to blend in your edges, you can use a distress ink. But for those of you that don't have a machine, I think this works pretty good. Remember our X. Check my fit again, and it went in fine. Now for the bottom, or for this piece, same here. All I did is the same thing. And again, one thing you need to make sure of is you have to draw it on the side. It's going to be shown, that's going to be glued down. Okay, and yes, I'm using the cut apart. We're going to repeat. No, it has 6 sides. I may have said 8 sides by accident. So now I'm going to cut on the inside of my pencil marks. So we have a little border. You can put this in your cutter. Now, one thing you can do, see, I may have turned it, is, of course, it is going to be too big. You can also distress your edges. Yes, I did the cut apart. Here comes that fly. I'm keeping my thumb on the edge that needs to go down. And we're just going to play with it till we get the size we're looking for. It took a few cuts. Then on this one for the top, nope, we got to cut one more side. There we go. Almost. Voila, we're there. Cuts. Now I'm going to distress. Well, that's why you always buy an extra 2 or 3 cut aparts. Because the back side, if you don't, it always seems like you don't have enough paper. You got to use your back side. Trying to keep my thumb there so I remember which one goes here. This is messy, yes. Oh, I always use the back side of the cut aparts. Oh, did I just lose it? No, I didn't. Then I will distress this. I'm not going to put anything on the top during this video. I did a poinsettia last time, or on my sample. So I just cut that with I have some dies for a poinsettia I'd had forever. And you can also put a knob there to pull it open. You could create a winter scene on there. I was actually looking at that, taking one of the mini trees that I have, putting a mini tree on the top and some snow, really decorating it up. And we have our lids. So now I can, darn, I'm telling you, we laughed so hard this weekend, I can't talk. We'll see their fit in just a minute. But we want to put now our boxes onto our box piece. So my camera might flip out here. Make sure, for some reason it does on this one, you have the top and the bottom. I'm sorry about that. It's acting crazy. And then because I did use a directional pattern on the bottom, kind of want to make sure it's going the right directions. And what we're going to do is not too much measuring, but I have to show you. The first box is going to go down here just a tiny bit from the bottom. This is going to be the bottom that stands on the box. So I'm going to add my adhesive. We're going to hold this for just a minute. Oh, how cute, Becky. So Becky is saying how cute to use baby paper. You could use the swaddle and little socks, little gifts for a baby shower. Okay, because that moved on me, so I had to. Okay. You want to, we're going to skip one for the center. Oh, sorry. And then we need to skip one for the top. So again, the top, I'm going to turn this upside down. Your top needs to come to the top. So this is going to skip one. That's the center, skip one, and this is the top. So your top will come almost to the top. And yeah, my camera is freaking out over this black pattern. Okay, we're going to hold this one so it doesn't move. Now I'm going to roll it up for just a second to show you. There we go. Roll it so it's sort of together. You have some space there. I didn't measure. I just rolled mine up. Wrong box. This box. And you're just going to somewhat, you know, just lay it there. You need to have proper spacing so that they can close up on each other. Then I just open my box. Okay. And slid this little guy over because you want to have a blank space, a box, a blank space, your center box, a blank space, and your top box. So I pretty much already established from rolling this together that that's a good spacing. Hi, Brenda. So I'm going to do a mark down here at the bottom. You probably can't see it. And what I'm going to do is just barely put the box over it so nobody will see it. Again, making sure I have my directions going the right way. So it's probably best not to use a directional paper on the bottom unless you really watch it. Okay. And this way. Hold it for a few minutes. Once you feel it's dry, and that should wrap up nicely. There, you don't even need the bottom box, but it just really looks super nice. There's my top and my bottom. Now your box lids, you've got plenty of room in there. It is, like I said, a little big. I played with the size and it was very difficult. So I did just add some pop dots, but you probably don't want to do that if you're giving it as a gift. These did hold it as little spacers. But again, it's nice to have this, and they can fill this up with good things like candy or however you want. Again, ribbon if you want to hold it. But another idea, especially if maybe you're going to be shipping this, just like those box towers, my ribbon's kind of short. So I use this around the center. But your little ribbon will hold that as a really nice, neat little package. The last month for the art glitter glue, which you want for all your Authentique projects, because it's a permanent hold, let me tell you, right now it's anticipating the second week in November. Okay, and I like it tied this way. And if you want to add any of the decorations, so I took from the sticker sheets. Let's just add one really quick, and then we'll go on to showing you what's brand new. Okay, the sticker sheet again. Don't wait on your sticker sheets because they go so fast. And these are a nice heavy cardstock. And because it's a holiday paper, they're not always reprinted and you don't want to miss out. So I just kind of picked what was the front. So I'll put the North Pole on again using my pop dots. And you can also back this with cardstock if you want. I'm just going to use my pop dots. Everything wants to stick to me because my fingers are full of glue. And I think North Pole really does go well with that. Of course, I'd move this. So there's not really, just establish your front and your back. And there's our cute little box. I hope you guys enjoy making this. And also we have another group, Everything Authentique. And you can post all your creations that you make with the new and past Authentique papers so that you can show us what you've made. But I think this will be a really fun gift for Christmas, and I hope you enjoyed making it. But now let's move on. I need to show you a couple of things that are new, and you'll have to forgive me because when I grabbed them today, I kind of dropped them. So we got out of order, and I want to show you what is coming. Well, first of all, I have just a little sneak peek of one when I show you this one because it is getting ready, and I'll tell you what, the box is going to be beautiful in this. So this is their new fall Splendor. And it's not ready yet. It will be ready soon. And when it is, your local scrapbook stores will have it, and I'll have it at Country Craft Creation. Yeah, you can rubber band it together. But that one is Splendor. So that one's in the works. I want to show you two brand new, and like I said, they are mixed up. So we're going to kind of put them together here on camera so that I can show you what I have. And I'm trying to get them all in order. So let's just go this way. Let's start with Delicious. I wanted to start with the other one, but this is Delicious. You're going to love this. It is so, so cute. Backyard barbecues, cooking in the kitchen. Again, it's a fun summer fall paper. And this is called Delicious. Here we have the chef hats, tongs. Really, really cute. I just love this. So this one, like I said, I apologize. It's out of order. I usually have them in order, but when you drop them, so let's go to 3. Let's get these a little bit in order. Here we go. This will help. Okay, Delicious number 1. All of our fun kitchen appliances. And look at that yellow plaid. Again, the distressing. It looks like it's been used in the kitchen and it's been splattered on. It's like that old cookbook. Isn't that just amazing? So look at that with the cut aparts. Adorable. Yes, it's recipe time. So we have, my camera may freak out on this, but it's so, yeah, there it goes. Delicious number 2. And we have, again, the silhouettes of the apron and the oven mitts. So here we have everything coming out of the oven that mom might wear when she's cooking. And Delicious number 3. Great. I love these when they have the lines because I call them the faux washi tape. You can definitely cut those apart. And look at the old, remember when kitchens were gold? This just reminds me of when we moved into a new house in the 70s and the kitchens, it was all gold. Everything was gold. Okay, that one we've seen. And here's number 4. Now we have more of the cookout. You've got shrimp. You have chicken on skewers. You have the barbecue grills. So maybe, are you going to have a fall barbecue for the neighborhood maybe? Invite them over. And you can make some cute invitations. Okay, this is where we got mixed up. So we have 6 sheets. And there's a couple more. We'll hit them here as we're going. Here's the thing. This line is there's 6 papers each, but no, maybe they're made to go together. So you'll see what I mean. So this is delicious. But of course, you want to cultivate first, right? That's, I dropped him and I didn't have time. I was going live. So cultivate. First, we're going to cultivate. Then we're going to cook it, right? So yes, it was gold or green. Here we have cultivate. Mother Nature has the best box of crayons. And that is so true when looking for colors in scrapbooking. You'll notice out in Mother Nature, everything just goes together. Isn't this gorgeous? And look at the back. Come on, camera. You can do this. You can do this. Then we have cultivate number 2. I call this a picnic plaid. I love the plaids. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, we have cultivate 4. Everybody needs the burlap sack to carry those potatoes in. That's what this reminds me of. So we've got the burlap. Oh, camera just hates this. Quit. Roosters or hens. Okay, we have cultivate number 1. We have the farmer. Oh, come on, camera. I've tried different cameras too. This is crazy. We have the tractor. We have our little farm animals, the windmills. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. And cultivate 3, we have more of the plaid. This one's the black. You do have green in there. You've got some of all the colors, if my camera would let you see it. And I love this. You have all your gardening. You've got your wheelbarrow. We have a big wagon to pull. We've got rakes. Even butterflies are in there. So when you get this, just spend some time looking at it. It's amazing. I know. Isn't that? I think it's just having trouble focusing. It's not finding the main part to focus. So my hand, you're right. I think it helps kind of focus there. And the burlap. So I showed you the cut aparts, which are just adorable. So we're going to cultivate and cook. Showing you these. I'm trying to get, we've gone through all those. There we go. So we have elements, the punch out elements with this, which are really fun. This one is to delicious. Love the tab. And it will be at it'll be out soon, very soon. So watch your local scrapbook store, or of course Country Craft Creations. I'll have it this way to the kitchen. Just adorable. And let's see what we have with cultivate. Love these colors. Love the blue. Farm Fresh. Again, you can see how you can use these 2 together. Straight from the farm to the table. How fun is that? I thought this was really a cute, fun fall paper. There's our tractor, windmill, cow. You might even notice a few of the images from Frontier. Thought that was really cute to add her, but she's wearing her apron. Dig and play in the dirt. Planting a garden. So this is also a great garden memory. If you want to go through, get the pictures of your garden from the share, this is going to be a great little book for that. So that is what I have to show you today. And be watching for the fall paper very soon. All I have is the elements. It's being printed and it will be out very soon. Gather the things that bring comfort and joy, pumpkin spice, and everything nice. Oh, yes. So I'll be back next week with another project for you. And it was fun to be back. I've been gone too long. I forgot how to talk on camera. I'm so used to just teaching classes live. And thank you, everybody, for joining me today. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.